Hey everybody, this is Ross Protection here. I'm doing a video on the Kahr P380 with the Blackened stainless steel slide. This is the first, maybe the first Kahr P380 black slide video on YouTube. So yeah, be sure to check it out. I purchased this gun through a private party transfer in the state of California. The P380 was just released in the last couple of months in California with a loaded chamber indicator, making it compliant with California law. If you've watched my other videos, you might know that if you can buy any pistol, whether it's off roster or on roster, through a private party transfer. I picked this one up that way, and the Blackened slide had only been released nationwide actually 3 weeks before I picked this up. So this is very new. It's one of the first versions of the Blackened stainless slide. So just to let you guys know, this gun is safety checked. Pull back the chamber, lock it open. We'll visually and physically inspect that chamber. There's no rounds. The magazine is out of the gun. I've taken it out. You can lock that down. Some people like to dry fire their weapon. Depends on the gun whether that's appropriate to do or not. Let's see, I bought this Cobra Gun Skins holster with the pistol before the 10-day waiting period was up. That way I'd have something to put it in when I got the gun. This is made by Cobra Gun Skins. It's an inside the waistband left-handed holster. Obviously they make a right-handed version as well. I wasn't impressed with the quality of this holster when I first picked it up. It came in the mail, and the quality of the leather was just mediocre at best. I took some 100 grit sandpaper and I kind of shaved the edges of the holster just to kind of soften it up. And I actually cut off this lip here. The lip that looks like the other side here was hitting my body funny. So I just cut that off. It doesn't affect the hold of the holster at all. It still grips well. After a couple weeks, like any holster, it's going to get better for you. As you can see, there's kind of a curve right here. I don't know if you could see that, and that's just fitting my body from wearing it every day. When you're wearing in a holster, you want to keep the gun inside of it all day and all night until it's satisfactorily worn in to your preference. So yeah, I'm actually digging this holster at the moment. So that just goes without saying. You want to, especially with holsters, give it a couple weeks before you make your ultimate determination whether you're going to use it or not. Okay, you guys, to get into this video, we're going to do a basic field strip just to show you guys if it's being tricky for you. I'm left-handed. This is designed for a right-handed person, so your mileage may vary with how you hold and perform this. The reason it sucks is because you need a non-marring hammer in order to do it, because you don't want to be banging this gun against something. You're going to pull back the slide after, of course, you safety check the weapon, which we've done. You're going to pull back the slide so that these two little notches, one is on the slide and one is on the frame, are going to line up. Once you do that, you'll be able to take your hammer and knock out that pin that's in the back. If you can see there's a little pin that I've just knocked out. Not all the way, but just enough to be able to get your screwdriver under there and pull this out, as you can see. From there, what you're going to want to do is pull the trigger and release, and that will come off normally. Okay? Cleaning this gun, it's going to need more oil than a Glock. Even though if you own a Glock, you know that looks so similar on the inside. It's going to need more oil. It's a lot, the internals are a lot tighter than that of a Glock, so you're going to have to keep it more lubricated. Pull that trigger back in order to get that slide all the way back on. That's going to allow you to pull the slide back to a point where those notches will line up again. As you can see, it's kind of a pain. Once those notches line up, you're going to be able to jam in the slide stop as so. Okay? As you can see, we've just disassembled and assembled the Kahr P380. Now that we've got that out of the way, I'll give you some general impressions of this pistol. Bottom line is I love it. It's the straightest shooting, best quality, highest quality rather, pocket pistol on the market in my opinion. And let's see, the things I didn't like about it, we'll start with that and then I'll get into what I enjoy about this. When I got it, this black stainless steel slide, which they use this kind of heat treatment that they say, oh, they perform on knives and everything, it didn't seem that high quality. When I took it out of the box that it came in, it was really dry. It was prone to scratches just because of how dry it was. And to tell you the truth, it didn't look very good. It stained really easily, and I wasn't impressed. However, a couple attempts at cleaning the gun after shooting it, I found that applying a thin coat of CLP break-free will give a nice kind of protectorant coat to this finish. It'll make it a little bit less matty, a little bit less chalkboardy looking, and it will overall just improve the finish of your gun. So be sure every time you clean it, apply a thin finish CLP just so you can see it shine, and then remove it really soon after with a dry cloth of some sort, and that'll give your blackened stainless steel finish a lot more beauty. Okay, number one thing to know about this gun, it is an extremely reliable gun. However, you must read your owner's manual to discover, or look at the internet or read articles to know that you must put at least 200 rounds through your Kahr P380 before it becomes reliable, loosens up, and becomes a gun that you're going to be able to count on in a self-protection situation. 200 rounds is the number. People will say, I don't need to read my manual. I know everything about guns, this type, that type, 1911, semi-auto, polymer, whatever. You need to read your manual. Things vary from manufacturer to manufacturer. I try to go by what they say and not what I think that I know. So the first 200 rounds I put through this, I've got to admit, not reliable at all. I had dozens of stovepipes, I had some failure to fires, I had some failure to feeds, and what I did notice though is towards the last 50, 75 rounds of my 200, it got more reliable with each magazine I fed through it. I went back to the range the other day, I put 75 rounds through it, not a single failure of any kind, and I used the same ammunition I did with the warm-up, the 200 round warm-up, which was Winchester white box. Since the 200 rounds, every ammo I have fed through it, including Hornady, Federal, Winchester, Glazer, has fed 100% reliable. Okay, so some more impressions of this pistol. I'm a big fan. When I shot the 200 rounds through it, I was still getting used to, okay, I'm a left-handed person, I'm right-eye dominant, how am I going to hold this pistol effectively? At the moment, I have the method that I'm going to use to hold this pistol each and every time I have to draw it or I'm at the range. I'm left-handed, so I'm going to use my left hand. Throwing that kind of dovetail right there, beaver tail rather, right there in the webbing of the hand. And I'm going to use that two-thumb method just like that. And of course this index finger off as my kind of pointing finger until I'm ready to shoot. The trigger, if you have bigger, medium, or bigger hands like me, your trigger finger, you're not actually going to use that first pad. I kind of use the joint right there to shoot even more so on the second pad of my finger. That's going to give me a better grip on the pistol, and it's going to allow me to kind of lurch that back and have a nice smooth finish without worrying about breaking that trigger real harshly to where the gun's going to jerk to and fro. So with some practice, this actually has a really great trigger. It's long, but it's not too heavy, and it breaks really cleanly. The reset is long as well, but you know what? Without an external safety on the gun, I like that. I don't want anyone taking that or a pen hitting it funny or anything going like that to where this comes off. And the quality of the trigger, how it is, I feel comfortable carrying it with a round in the chamber for a total of 7 rounds in the gun. A great thing I like about this gun is the sights on it. I love that rear notch sight. It's got real sights, unlike, a lot of J-frames or comparable, pocket pistols. This has real sights, and at about 15 feet I'm shooting sub 1-inch groups every time. It doesn't matter what the ammunition is. The combination of the trigger, those nice sights, which you can trade out with tritium night sights, big dot sights, all available through Kahr's website. You can get those if you so wish. For me, I like the notch sight as they come. I don't plan on doing that as of yet. Some people, especially maybe women who are thinking about concealed carry, a big issue for them might be recoil or a muzzle flip. With this Kahr, I'm glad to say the recoil is extremely minimal. If you have a Glock 19, you've ever shot one, the recoil is way less than a Glock 19 and 9mm. This is a great little pistol. It's going to be controllable even for someone who doesn't have a lot of strength. It's something you're going to be able to keep on target, something you'll be able to use your sights, use your shooting mechanics to put rounds down range. I plan on this becoming my carry gun. I actually sold my Kel-Tec PF9, not because I didn't like it, but to tell you the truth, in California where we have nice weather, 9-10 months out of the year, I want something that I can carry comfortably, easily everywhere I go. And although that Kel-Tec PF9 is a great pistol and really small for a 9mm, I just wanted something smaller. I wanted something that was more concealable. The weight wasn't really the issue, it was just kind of the size of the gun. And as you can see again, this is just a great size. It's going to be concealable everywhere you put it. Unlike the Kel-Tec PF9, this would fit any pocket holster really easily. The Kel-Tec was really difficult to conceal well inside of a pocket, whereas this I'm sure would be no problem. More thoughts on shooting impressions for the Kahr P380 Blackened stainless steel slide. I can shoot consistent tight groups up to about 15 yards. After that, it's questionable. I'm sure I don't really practice past 15 yards. I like to practice sub 7 yards, to tell you the truth, right around 15 feet, which is 5 yards. It's a 2.5-inch barrel. They call it a Lothar Walther match grade barrel, and it's really awesome. It's got a nice shine to it. You can tell it's of really high quality, but with such a short barrel and what a lot of people think is an underpowered cartridge, you want to keep it as your pocket pistol. And studies have shown that most gunfights outside of the home occur under 21 feet away. So that's where I practice, and I think that's where you should practice too. If you pick this up, I would definitely consider adding it to your concealed carry permit. It's an amazing gun. It's extremely high quality for the tiny size. I've shot the LCP, I've shot the P380, the Kel-Tec PF9, and it's easy to say that this beats them all in terms of quality, performance, looks. It's obviously the best looking gun. The Kel-Tecs, obviously they're not known for their looks, they're known for their cost. Well, this is going to run you a lot of money. I paid almost $700 for mine. My life is worth far more than $700. And, if I have to pay more money to get the best piece of equipment out there, that's something I'm going to do. That's just my personal choice. There's other guns out there that will probably do the exact same thing, but for me, my choice is the Kahr. Feel free to subscribe to my videos or ask me any questions you might have about further experience with the Kahr P380, anything about the finish. Feel free to ask me on YouTube. Thanks so much for watching. Again, this is Ross Protection. God bless.
say me not big problem. Some of them a pose with the gun and they gun and no fit them. Get back.